talking about how to take control of your life. So I'm going to relate this as much as I can to wholesaling, but this is a topic, unfortunately, that I have lived personally from the time I took a corporate job to where I am in wholesaling now. And what I want to do is share the lessons with you I've learned today. So hopefully you can get some guidance and get the truth on how to actually navigate your life. Now, you can use this for business, you can use this for personal, you can use this for relationships, but I've learned some basic things, and I'm probably not going to tell you guys anything new you haven't heard from me before, but it's important you have a foundation for it. So if you're new to the channel, do me a favor, make sure you introduce yourself in the comments, let everybody know where you're from. This is a wholesale friendly place. Mostly talk about wholesaling, talk about some life things, but everything to me ties into it. So if you want to learn about wholesaling, I put it in the comments below. Freewholesaling.com. We currently have the GIN games going on, which we have some incredible prizes. We have 1 year free full subscriptions to X Leads for everyone that participates. And I think you guys will enjoy that a lot. Make sure you go over to Free Wholesaling first and foremost. It's a 100% free wholesaling course. That's right. I give you exactly step-by-step what to do. I've done a ton of deals. I work on deals and I do a lot of JV guys with you. And I've mastered the art of marketing. It's what I do best. It's why I'm talking to you now. And if you go to freewholesaling.com, I'll teach you how to market to motivated sellers, show you how to put contracts together and how to dispo your deals. And once you get through your first deal, I'll show you how to get your second, third, and teach you how to get to your first 6 figures. And once you do that, you are off to the races, and I will teach you how to scale it. You see, most people in wholesaling want to talk way above your head. It was my tendency when I first got out and started talking. And honestly, I didn't share one thing on the internet at least till 10 years into the business because I felt like I really didn't know it all. And I'm learning every day in this business, and I plan on learning till the day I die. So if you're on board with me, introduce yourself, let us know what market you're in. That would be great. And then what I will do is I will go ahead and put up the invite if somebody wants to hop on and do a one-on-one. It's a wide open, it's use it or lose it, just to show you how the power of action works. Everyone's like, nah, nothing can be for free. Listen, you want to hop on a live, that's fine. But like, who else can you reach out? I don't do one-on-ones. Like, you could not pay me enough to do a one-on-one. I make too much money, and I know how to make money. To do a one-on-one would be doing most people a disservice, because if I can only service one, how can I serve the rest of the community? It's just the truth, bottom line. And so if you know that, then I want you to understand that's one of the basic rules to teach you today. Be careful with a one-on-one. Now, if you have somebody in a local market that is well established and you want to partner up with them and earn and learn, and you trust them that they'll pay you, how do you do that? You haven't signed a JV agreement. Then that's a great way to do it. That's the only way I would do a one-on-one. And I've done that before when I was younger. But honestly, it becomes like a full-time, like how many people are going to be successful doing it? I don't know. I enjoy the community aspect. It's just that way I can take 100 people in and find the people that really want to do it. A lot of people say they want to do wholesaling, but like when it comes down to it, some people don't actually want to do it, and that's the truth. So make sure you go over to freewholesaling.com. And once again, we have the GIN games going on right now, and it is an interaction. If you go to freewholesaling.com, which I put on the bottom here, the whole thing's free. The whole community is free, and you can network with people like me, my son Zach, and then a whole host of thousands and thousands of people on the same journey as you. Why not? Because it's the best way to do it. So let's jump into this, and then at the end, I will jump on and do some one-on-ones with you, and we'll have some fun with this. So let's get into it. So taking control of your own life. A lot of you, let's be honest with you, some of you are just getting started. Some of you are living with your parents. Some of you are just trying to rebrand yourself. I don't care where you're at. So the first thing you have to understand is you are going to have to learn to be happy with yourself. So I've learned being happy cannot be a condition. I'll be happy when I close my first deal. I'll be happy when I get 10 deals closed. I'll be happy when I do a $100,000 spread, $50,000 spread. Just get rid of it. Like it's never going to work out the way you plan on it. And if you set a condition to be happy, it's the fastest way to be disappointed. So the easiest thing to do is recognize what you already have. Because we constantly move the goalpost, especially as wholesalers. Why? I remember I go, man, if I could just make $10,000, I'd be happy. Do you know how many times Rick has moved the goalpost since then? I just keep adding zeros to everything I do. But that's human nature and I'm okay with it. But at some point, you do have to stop and smell the roses and go, damn, look where I am now compared to where I was a year ago, or 6 months ago, or 6 weeks ago. I don't care if you quit smoking, you decided to lose weight, you started to do JV deals, you started to like really take wholesaling seriously, because so many times if you're constantly moving the goalpost, you can never really recognize what you do. And if you're part of that crowd, I want you to kind of fix it now. So just be thankful for the damn air you're breathing, the sun that shines on you, and the roof over your head, because not everybody has that. So if you just start with the basics and you understand what truly makes people happy, happy is a choice. Tony Robbins says this best. Happiness is not a destination, it's a choice. And if you want to be happy, you have to be happy with others. End of story. So many miserable wholesalers out there. And don't get me wrong, there are some things in the business when you get screwed over by a business partner, when a JV falls apart, when a seller ghosts you or lies to you. But some of this stuff, all you can do is your best effort to control it. And we're going to talk about that today and move forward. You can't get all hung up in like stuff that doesn't work out in your life. So first and foremost, understand you're going to move the goalpost. It's natural. But long as you recognize the achievements as you go along, I still remember that my first goal in wholesaling was to make my first $10,000. And I remember when I hit it, I'm like, wow. Now it was easy to set the next goalpost. Maybe it was 25,000, 30,000. But like I just started hitting them like time after time. Now it was a long journey. It was painful. And I'm share it with everybody. I do it on here. But like, you know, now I look at like $1 million. It's not what it's not. Number one, $1 million today is nothing like it was when I got started wholesaling. $1 million today would have been like $2 to $3 million back then. So we all know what happened with the power of the money at the rate our government prints it. But we have to understand, if I'm willing to move the goalpost, I know you're going to do it. But some of you guys actually move the goalpost backwards, which you can't do at all. So if you understand that, we have to understand how to move forward with this and go from it. So understanding number one. So I gave you the happy equation because honestly, it's important. And if you guys keep saying, if I do this today, I'll be happy, just stop. Just wake up and be happy. You're going to deal with the day. At the end of the day, you get the same 24 hours as everybody else watching this live stream. The question is, what do you do with it? Most people just waste their time every day and they don't understand how valuable life is. You're only going to be here so long. So you only get one ride. And I'm not getting into the quantum physics of how life works, but while you're here, you might as well make it the best thing you can humanly possibly do, period. So there's 3 ways to live in life. You ready? I'm not even going to put this on there because it's just truth. You can live in the past, and most people hang out in the past, period. Honestly, I used to hang out in the past a lot. I didn't understand that failure was a big part of life's success. And dwelling on your failures will just put you in an endless loop. It'll make you depressed, tired, worn out, and unmotivated. Whatever's in the past, like it says on your side view mirror, things may appear smaller or bigger they are in that. You just got to let the past go. You have to just let it go and learn from it. And if you look at the past like a learning lesson, like you would on a book, you can do so much better. But if you constantly dwell on the mistakes you make, you cannot move forward, which moves us to the next moment, which is about living in the present. That's right. It's called the present. So we just went through the entire holiday season, Christmas, Hanukkah, everything. And what did? We give away presents. But the biggest gift you can give to anyone is your time. Like what you guys are doing with me now, I do not take it for granted. I do not assume your viewership. I do not assume your subscriptions. And honestly, I feel honored that you even watch me. But when you're in your home today, when you're in your office, your work, whatever it is, you have a decision if you want to be in the present. Most people sit and just hang out in the past like, oh my God, it could have been so much better. All the time, some of the people I grew up like were good football stars in high school. That's it. That's their highest peak. Now, I wasn't like an incredible football star when I grew up, but I will tell you, I've worked on myself from the time I was 16, 17 to where I am now. And I don't have glory days stories. Why? Because I was terrible back then. I wasn't a bad person. I was just lost. I didn't know what I was doing. But at 55, there's nobody near me in my class. And what I'm trying to do is teach you the lesson is it doesn't matter where you are today. It's a matter of are you building something and going forward? And you are going to have massive setbacks along the way. God knows I have. I've recently had them. And those setbacks will remind you what's truly important in life and what you are giving energy to stuff that is just stupid. So I've had some unfortunate deaths in my family in the recent years. And trust me, I know a lot of you know what pain is, but like until you lose something that is near and dear to your heart, like a person, a family member, a sister, a mother, a brother, a dad, it's painful. We're all going to go through it. But part of those lessons in life is to teach you what's truly valuable. A lot of you guys think your house is valuable, your car is valuable. It's all bullshit. You can get any of that stuff replaced at any time. You can't get people back. So the best gift you can give is the present time you spend with people. I cannot stress it enough. So if I could do one thing when you guys are done with this live stream, go sit down with someone you love and just tell them how much you appreciate them and ask if there's anything you can do for it. It goes a super long way. And if you want to take it to the next level, when you wake up in the morning, just send someone a thank you text, like for being in your life. If more of us would be active in the present life, we could have a major impact on people, because sometimes you're going to run everything you need. And there's sometimes you're going to have to watch a video like from me or Zach or someone that you admire, and they're going to help you pick you up and shake it off. A little bit of today's video is that. And then the next one is living in the future. There's some people that all they do is live in the future. They're constantly planning. People that live in the future or the past are stuck on these devices. Now, don't get me wrong. I use this more than I need to, but I have to remind myself at a dinner table, that has no business being there. When I meet a new business associate, I have my phone's gone and put away, because there is nothing worse to me than competing with someone's cell phone. If I can't get your attention for 30 or 40 minutes, I probably don't want to do business with you. And I definitely don't want a personal relationship with you. It's just the truth. And everybody wants to plan the future and then get stuck in the past, and very little people want to live in the present. And if you can fix that equation to where, listen, you still have to plan for the future, but be present in the present time and let go of your past and use it as a learning tool. Oh my God, we could end this video right now. You would change as a person. Well into my early 30s, I just hung on stuff that did not work out in my past. I tried a lot of ventures that were they just weren't right for me. And I think it's God just telling me, hey, Rick, that's not right for you. This is what you need. So if you understand that, I just want you guys to understand there's only 3 states you can live in: the past, the present, and the future. The past is nothing more than a learning. That's it. It's over. The present is where you get the most fulfillment in our life, and the future sets you up to be in the right seats with the right people in the near future. But there's a lot of people that like to spend all their time in the future. They never want to deal with the present. And here's the scary part about the present is you actually have to acknowledge people. You actually have to provide value, and you have to be in your own feelings and emotions, which is very difficult for most people. I'm the first to admit that, but it's doable. And if you don't do it, you're just going to have major pain in the past and major anxiety in the future. And so how do I eliminate it? I try to stay in the present, and then I build a business for the future. And the past is nothing more than a learning curve. I do not beat myself up about the past, and I move forward. And if you understand that, honestly, you could shut this video off after that. And I'm telling you, we want to do that. So let's keep going here. And then, because I want to talk to you guys. So I put this up. No one's coming to save you. If you guys think the government's going to bail you out, honestly, I think the United States government we're in a critical phase that we might have to be bailed out. $36 trillion in debt. To me, it's just a downright embarrassing. There's no other word to say for it. So if our government's paying $1 trillion in interest a year, I promise you there's not much left for them to bail anyone out. Honestly, in the next 10 years, the government needs to bail itself out. Will politics get in the way? I'm not going down this road tonight because I don't have control of it. My only control is I place a vote and I walk away. That's it. I do not spend time debating with family, friends. All right, what do you think about this person and this? And what do you, what are you going to do? Are you going to change their mind? The more you argue, the more they get entrenched into it. And then once again, you're trying to change something in the future, which you have no control over, or you're trying to learn from your past mistakes. Don't do it. The next one's going to be a big one. And honestly, I had an epiphany when I decided to become a serious wholesaler. You ready? Stop complaining. Just stop. Like, there is zero benefit to complaining. Why? Dude, I wrote the Bible on this. I was taught, unfortunately, with the family that raised me, which they did the best they could, but man, we like complained. So guys, let me know in comments. Do you come from a family that complains? Like they look at the weather today. It's raining today. Oh my God, the sun's so hot. It's so shiny. It's so cold. It's so hot. It's so windy. It's gloomy. It's smoky. It's like, do you think we control any of this stuff? Like, what's the point? And I'm trying to understand this. Okay. My comments just shut off there. It froze on me too. You've got to understand, it's like, why do people complain? And here's what I've learned in life. The only reason people complain is because it's a learned skill set that your immediate family and your friends taught you. In fact, the more you hang around average people, the better complainer you'll become. And then eventually, if you learn the skill set to, number one, identify when people complain and repel from them, because what a complainer wants you to do is tell them how to fix it. And then they go to the next person, they complain the exact same thing. And then they grab little bits of information, we call them an ask hole, and they really don't care because they're looking for a narrative that fits their story, their excuse. So don't engage it. Once you recognize it, just peel away, take another phone call, move on. After a while, they'll get the picture. And then this weird thing happens. Once you understand how much people complain, which by the way, 90% of the population is just chronic complainers, you will run from these people. Complainers never get anything done. They always have an excuse and they make very, very little money. It's the truth. I see it every day. Now, it doesn't mean I love anybody less or I care, but like once you find complainers, go to the other side. So I was at a New Year's Eve party, and the minute people complain, I just pivot. I pivot. And I find the people that want to have a great conversation, want to be present, want to talk about family, even business, and I navigate towards them. It's my favorite way to do it. Once they start complaining, somebody was telling me at a party, I got PTSD from so-and-so. Okay, so now we have PTSD used to be like a military terminology, and it's legit. Like you go out there and like warfare is brutal. But now I've got lawyers and doctors and customer service reps telling me they have a condition. I have PTSD because it's been so hard. I'll go, really? It's hard because people pay you and they expect you to perform at a job? Like that's, come on. PTSD from being a doctor? Like, come on, man. You guys are smarter than that. See, that's the problem is like, that's just a form of complaining. And once they start, I come back an hour and they're still complaining about the exact same thing. So what do I do in that hour? I go out and find people that will help my common causes or people that I really enjoy. And you should do the same. Spending time with people that are a time suck, a drain. If you stay in there long enough, you go, well, you know, we're good friends and stuff. They're going to bring you down with them. Complainers, here's all complainers are doing. You're here, you're trying to change your life with wholesaling. And then the average complainer is here and they're trying to get you down to their level so they can fit their narrative. Why are you doing that? Like so risky. It's like, really? You complain every day how miserable you are and you're like upset. So I do not justify anything I do with wholesaling. In fact, most of my family, I don't tell them I wholesale because here's the truth, they don't care. And so you guys spend all this time telling this story like, hey, I'm gonna get properties under contract. I sell them to cash buyers. I can do it over and over again. And once I figure this out, I can make a ton of money doing it. That is the truth. The reality is they just like, after about 20 seconds in, they just don't care. The truth of the matter is, think about this. Whenever I go to the grocery store, the cashiers, so we have Publix here in Florida. I know it's in the Southeast, but the cashier will have a name tag. And I go out of my way. I say, hey, Judy, I hope you have a wonderful day. How's your day going? She's like, it's okay. Where do I go with that? So the thing is, I'm asking her a question. She's just giving me a BS answer to get me off her back. She's so used to it all day. People like, how you doing? I'm okay. I'm getting by. It's Friday. We've become so automated answering everybody's questions. It's stupid. And so you have to change that and understand that is most of the time when you tell other people your problems, they're just being polite to you and going, oh, that's terrible. Oh my God. They don't care. I've learned this the hard way. I'm 55. I'm telling you right now, when you complain and bitch to others, you just make yourself look really bad. Like, oh my God, he's so negative. She's so negative. Why do I even want to be around him? So if you understand that, guys, just do this. Please just stop complaining. It will get you nowhere. In fact, you mark yourself as a complainer, and then the really high quality people that want to change their life, they're going to avoid you like the plague. So I used to be one of these people, and I realized how foolish it was. Nothing gets accomplished when you complain. The only thing you do is try to justify your own self-serving story. And that alone is a terrible decision. So stop trying to be right about everything and understand this. Nobody cares about your excuses. It's just the truth. Go ahead. Take me up on it. Go tell someone about how difficult your car is being today and how the alternator keeps crapping out on you. You got to keep hitting it with a screwdriver and your tires are bald. And if I don't get some miracle money in the next week or two, I don't know what I'm going to do. I mean, it sounds like them like, crap, they're going to ask me for a loan. I better get away from this person. And so here's how that relationship's viewed. You offered no value. If anything, you're a liability. And why do I want to spend time with someone that doesn't like want to fix their own life? Now, don't get me wrong. People have hard times, but like not everyone doesn't need to hear about every problem you have. In fact, a lot of it you should keep in private. They will cheer against you when you're not around. It's just the truth. So if you understand that nobody cares about your excuses, you get it. A lot of you going, well, you know what, Rick, I don't know. Wholesaling seems a little risky. You know, can you guarantee me it's going to work out? No, I'm not going to guarantee you because it's a lie. It's an absolute lie. The truth of the matter in wholesaling, when people go out and take any type of course, either paid or free, which we have the free version, freewholesaling.com, you are taking a risk no matter what you do. But here's the good news is you took a risk the day you got born. The truth is we all got a death sentence. We are dying every day. Memento mori. It's the truth. I know a lot of you want to hide under the counter. I'm not doing this to make you depressed. I'm doing this to create urgency in your life. So you talk about risk. We've already been given a sentence. There's no way out. We're all in it together. The question is, what are you going to do with it? So you just said, hey, Rick, what about the risk? Let me ask you this. What has being super safe got you? What has it got you? Broke? Like you're owned by a boss? God knows, for 12 years, I was just manhandled by a boss. Not physically. Never let anybody do that to me. But like, you need to be here, you need to do this, that, 60, 70, 80-hour weeks, no problem. It was just deliver bad news, sell stuff you don't believe in. And I got fed up. So if this video can help you from making the 12-year mistake I did, that's my job. That's what I want to do. And I want you to understand that. So where has safe been gotten you? Where has it gotten you? It probably hasn't got you squat. And so you guys are so worried about being safe, but why don't you start taking inventory and go, shit, I've been safe for the last 5 years and I've gotten nowhere. I'm just working on somebody else's dreams. And if I don't do something, I'm going to wind up like Rick. Now, don't get me wrong. Rick was making some money, but like after I paid my taxes, I had no write-offs. Honestly, my 6-figure-a-year job that I worked my butt off in a sales position, maybe netting me $65,000, $70,000 when it's said and done. Guys, I don't need to run you through the cost of living today. I would not. I was fortunate in the time I was brought up. A lot of you, let's just tell the truth, you're not. You're in a different world, which leads me to the next one. We're in a new economy, guys. Like, just admit it. Everything changed in 2020. It's the truth. Now, I've been fortunate enough that I've been working in real estate since 2003. And I was able to accumulate a lot of assets, make a lot of mistakes early, and live on a very, very low budget. I'm the first to admit, and I'll agree with you, those days are over. In fact, if you're just starting out now, your back's against the wall. But remember, playing it safe, like if you go out and get a hourly job. Now, I have no problem for people that just need to pay the bills. God knows I've done it for a long time, and I want you to understand that. But if you don't risk anything, you don't get anything. So life doesn't work. If you sit on your couch and you watch Netflix all day, nothing is going to change in your life. The reality is you're a consumer, you're not a producer, and you will be owned. So if that doesn't freak you out alone, and don't get me wrong, I'm not like I don't do any of that Netflix crap where like you guys like rate videos and you put videos in your account. Like, don't get me wrong, people do that in my family. Like, not, I don't even know how, like, honestly, I'm so bad. All I can do is hit the Netflix app, and then I look at maybe a recommended movie when I have nothing going on with my wife. That's as far as I go with Netflix. I have no list. I have no avatar emoji. Why? Because mine is wholesaling. And don't get me wrong, I want downtime spent with the people I love, but like, I do not study Netflix. I don't even know how much Netflix charges me. I figure it's 30, 40 bucks. I have no idea. Somebody put in the comments. But I want you to get to the level where like do that. If you are so nimble at getting through your Netflix account, you're consuming. And it just means you're becoming addicted to people's product. And if you don't fix it, you're going to have real problems. You should take that same energy and put it into freewholesaling.com. You should know every video. You should know every contract. You should know every script. You should know how to qualify people, do go for no, everything. But some of you guys are masters at Netflix. I had during the holidays, I had some family and friends come over. I got to tell you, or like we did a lot of traveling, especially me, my son, my daughter. I got to tell you, some of you got, like, I didn't know you could all either. There's Paramount, there's Peacock, there's Netflix, there's YouTube TV. I didn't even know half this crap existed. It's ridiculous. And like, they go, what have you been living in the Stone Ages? I remember looking at them like, so you're going to rag on me because I don't know how to operate these TVs? Like everyone, even a kid could do it. I go, that's the problem. You guys are owned by all these companies. And I ask them, I'm like, what investments do you make in yourself? Like what? Nothing. Everything's just like, hey, I just show up to work and I come home and I watch TV. And you quickly realize how addicted people are to TV. I'm just telling you guys, be aware. Are in a new economy. And if you don't understand this, you're going to have a problem. See, because in the days when I started working, you could actually get by on an hourly job. I did. I had a roommate, small apartment, but I could get by. Today, you can't. Honestly, if you're trading your time for money, it won't work going forward. It's just not going to work. Will you make money? Yes. But I'm just telling you, you are not going to be able to trade time for money much longer in the United States economy. The cost of living will be so high. The cost of every product will be so high, and inflation is, I just don't see it going anywhere. It's just going to get worse. So I was fortunate up to this point, and I acknowledge most of you have a much bigger road to cross than I do. Now, here's the good news is there's a ton of opportunity, but you have to accept this fact. Now, how you deal with it is fine. My recommendation is like figure out how to eat ramen noodles and how to live so below your means that even a Netflix account should be on the table. Everything. You should look at everything. And if you don't, how bad do you really want it? So most people won't live on what I call the ramen noodles issues. I'm just telling you, are you guys getting any feedback on this? Interesting. Okay. You guys can hear me okay. So how do we do all this going forward? So I just told you, you're in a new economy. You can't afford all the luxuries anymore. The Netflixes, you guys with your Uber Eats, I just don't understand. If you're broke, how can you afford to pay someone 10 or 12 bucks to deliver you a meal plus the cost of the meal? And I'm gonna be honest with you, what's in that meal is probably going to be worse than the financial cost of it. You've got to understand that. So what I want you to do going forward is simply focus on what you can control. Stop spending money on consumer items. Now, obviously you need food, you're gonna need utilities, you're gonna need a basic place to live. Build out such a basic budget that you basically disappear off this planet for 2 years. It doesn't mean you don't celebrate people's birthdays and get-togethers. I'm not telling you that. But if you really want to give it a head in wholesaling, you're going to have to sacrifice for 2 years. I don't care what you say. Don't believe me? Go ahead, drag it up. I don't care. It's going to happen. I've never met anybody that didn't build something huge, something like really impressive, that didn't give up something for it. Why do you think you're any different? We have to understand that. We have to accept it. Because if we don't, we're just going to sit here in denial all day. So if we know that, focus only on what you can control. Very clear. So when it comes to wholesaling, you drive the leads, you drive the revenue, you drive the conversations. That's everything you can control. Can I control what a prospect's going to say to me? No, I can only prepare on how to overcome an objection that they have. And remember, I teach you in wholesaling the difference between being a guide and being a salesperson. Salespeople, you're trying to convince somebody to sell you a house. A guide, If it's a good fit, you build up trust and you connect with them, they go with you because you're the best fit. A salesperson has to sell you, and they have to come up with some very simple lines, which I don't have for you. And honestly, in wholesaling, we're finding such niche motivated sellers that all you have to do is help solve the problem. Think about this. If I'm going to buy a Lamborghini, number one, I have to have a certain amount of wealth to get it. And number two, do I need the Lamborghini? Absolutely not. It's just a luxury item. It's like a luxury watch. And so if I know that going into it, if someone needs to sell a house wholesaling, they have to sell it. They just have to choose who they sell it to. How do they choose? Whoever connected to them, whoever treated them kindly, and whoever helped to guide them through their situation and solution that actually fixes the problem. That's it. That's all I do. If you want to sell, go be a licensed real estate agent. That's what they do best. Because you got to sell people on listing their house because they want like usually a crazy price. And the trick about real estate agents is they list it. They don't guarantee it ever what they're selling. I'll list your house for $599.9. I'm just going to sell you on why you want to go with me. Now, eventually, you're going to have to get the reality. Your house is only worth 5.25. But like the way it's set up, it's not that big of a deal. The difference between selling and guiding is completely different. Now, if I tell you to focus only what you can control, you have to understand the counter argument to that. And it's simply this: stop trying to control everything. I have a bit of this problem. This took me 5 years to unwind. 5 years. I was such a control freak. I had to control everything. Now, the fact that I did wholesaling all by myself for 7 years, number one, isn't a mission. Number two, it's a little bit embarrassing because I didn't know how to get out of my own way. And if anything, I look back at it, honestly, I look back at it as a failure. And now I look forward is it gave me so much wisdom and so much perspective on dealing with everybody in wholesaling. It is one of my superpowers and why I talk to you guys now because I have spent so much time in the trenches. There's very, very few things that I haven't seen. Now, as time goes along and cultures change and the new economy changes, we have different obstacles in front of us. We have ring cameras. We have technology that moves at massive speed. Um, Everybody's information seems to be available, and everybody wants the fastest and quickest route to get a deal. And those are the things you all are trying to deal with right now. And I get it. And I had a lot of obstacles when I started out. And they'll constantly be changing. That's why we need to do it. So just try not to control everything. All you can do is present your best information to yourself to solve the problem and follow up with and connect with them. Not every one of them is going to see it your way. And once you understand that, it's like not as hard as you can. And once you understand you can't control everything, you just focus on what? I focus on the things that I can control. And here's the cool part. This wisdom's been carried down through ancient Bible studies, through the Stoics. I didn't invent this. I don't take credit for it. I just live by this philosophy. Because at the end of the day, no matter how much I cry, bitch, whine, not going to change the only thing that's going to change the outcome is my effort towards going forward. And if I fail the mission, I don't look at it as a failure. I go, hey, what can I learn from this failure? And how can I be better? I've always told you guys, the best wholesaling is when you fail. Why? Because I promise you, you're going to do your best never to make that mistake again. And so many failure, and by avoiding failure, you're actually not progressing and learning. So stop being scared of failing. You're going to fail. Sometimes you're going to fail miserably, and this is how you progress and move forward. Because failures have a choice. You either quit, which a lot of people do it the minute they get resistance, or they figure out how to pick themselves up and keep moving forward. The only difference between me and any beginner wholesaler or anybody got started is I haven't quit. 22 years, I haven't quit. I have a track record that's impeccable. I don't quit. I'm never too big for wholesaling. I love wholesaling. And honestly, wholesaling completely changed my life. It changed the trajectory of my family. And that's my goal, why I try to connect with you guys. And I get people that go, oh, you just keep talking about the same things over and over. Dude, I've been this 22 years. You want the most advanced, extreme technique I'm going to teach you because it'll be so far above your head, you won't even know what to do with it. Or I sit here and teach you the fundamentals, the stuff you need to learn now to actually be successful in wholesale. There's people that tell you wholesaling is dead, it's not working anymore. It just means they don't want you to do like you have to go through them to make it work forward. That's not true. I'm seeing thousands and thousands of success stories that we have at freewholesaling.com. People that are willing to take a risk, that are going to control the things they can control and let go of the things they have no control. You're going to meet with sellers and give them the best information. You're going to hear them very carefully, and they're going to reject you. Just learn from it and move forward. Period. End of story. Now, I'm going to give you a big one right here that is going to help a lot of you unwind some of this crap you have carrying around in your life. This one I'm going to put up here was one of my biggest Achilles tendons when I switched from working an employee job to being my own entrepreneur as a wholesaler. And this one took a long time to unwind. And honestly, once you unwind this one, you become extremely dangerous. If you can't fix this one, you are going to be stuck in a pattern and you're going to have problems. You ready? Stop caring what others think of you. I want you to think about this for a minute. There's people watching my live stream right now that are rooting for me to fail. I just want to hug them. I want to kiss them and go, I don't care. In fact, I don't even know why you're watching it. I know why you're watching it because you're just serving yourself ego. And the reality is what Rick does is going to have no bearing on people that don't like him. So, little secret, I have haters. I don't care. A hater's job is to try to shut you down and not have you talk about it anymore. I do the complete opposite. I just go deeper, harder, and I share as much information as I can on wholesaling for free because I believe in it. I believe it in my heart. I don't care if my own mom tells me she doesn't believe in it, I just tell her I don't care. And so when I started wholesaling, I did not adapt this philosophy, but I wanted everyone to accept it. And I'm telling you, you're going to have to divorce yourself of that real quick because there's like fate in this game. So when I first started wholesaling, you're like, crap, what's he doing? That's almost like, I don't know. And people wanted to protect me. And then I started making some money after about a year. And the people like, my God, it's pretty cool, man. Like, what are you doing? Like, we love you. And then for 2 or 3 years, I was like, oh my God, like Rick's really kind of figured it out. And then I had to figure out how to build my net worth. And then when I got really good, started working with others, and then I started providing value to everybody with me and my son, the shoe quickly switched on my feet. So they went from loving me to like hating me, and I don't care. I get it. If you feel threatened by me because I help out more people, or a lot of people, then that's on you. It's not on me. And I get over it real quick. Period. I don't care. So I understand people feel threatened when you do things differently than they do. But there's an opportunity you can either learn and engage it and change your business model, or you can sit there and fight it. But once you fight and complain, you're just like the person I told you you should never be. Because whining, doing, I don't know, articles and stuff like that about people and you don't agree with what they do, you're going to have the same problem too. In fact, the more attention you give a problem, you're doing the opposite effect. I don't know why people don't understand it. Listen, if you go to a restaurant and get bad service or the food sucks, you people that go on like Yelp and like spend 45 minutes writing a review, like who do you think you're screwing? Like you're just waiting, like you're putting your name out there. And then I find people that I found that people that complain on like Google reviews, like yeah, like 50, 60 reviews. Like, what are you doing in life that you have to review everyone? Here's how you do it. If you went somewhere you didn't like the experience, don't go back. That's it. Why spend extra energy and focus on the negative? It's going to get you nowhere. You've got to understand. Stop caring what everyone thinks about you. You can care what your family thinks about you. And then you've got to go out and hunt. And the only people that are going to take you out are the people that feel threatened by what you're doing. That's not safe. That seems scary. Okay, but before I go back to where you should start, let's learn a little bit about your life. Do you have freedom of time? Do you have financial freedom? Oh, no. I just want to go to work and come home every day. Yeah, but you want to bitch about everything. I don't want to do that. I actually want to make a change in my life. So when I made my change, nobody like agreed with what I did. And then there was a time where people switched and they like, God damn, Rick's the best. And then when I decided to try to go out and help everybody else out there, I was told if I did not join this team, if I did not commit to this program, if I did not go to this mastermind event, you're going to make an enemy. Like whatever, I don't care. It's if you want to make you can only make an enemy with another person that decides you're an enemy. I don't have enemies. I don't care. I have people who don't agree with me. That's fine. Like everybody has a right to opinion. I can't take it away. God gave everyone that right, and we know that. So, which I'm going to share the next little piece of information for you. Ready? Execution is so much more powerful. Ideas are just stuff that's never been tested. Real wholesalers execute. What do I mean by execute? It means they follow out a plan and they carry it out. That's what I want you guys to do. You have to do it. How do you do it? Lose your ego. Number one killer in wholesaling, it's huge. And if your ego is that big, so once you activate your ego, which is your ability to feel important, to feel right, and to be recognized, that's all it is. Tell me what else you think the ego serves, because it doesn't serve anything else. And if you understand that, you're going to get killed. Like, you'll get killed if you do not fix that. Lose your ego. The number one killer of wholesalers. Believe me, I have to feel so important. Listen, I shoot videos, but like, I do not analyze how many of you people watch them. I read the comments because it's important, but like, do I put a lot of credibility in some of your comments? I know exactly where I'm at. Now, some comments are, right, honestly, they're like, you think there's anything you can say on the internet that like you haven't already like attacked me? I don't care. I've read thousands and thousands of negative comments. I know that at the end of the day, it's just a keyboard warrior sitting there typing, and it makes them feel good right now, and it serves their ego. A mature person that understands their ego, they don't get in like a back and forth counter, and they definitely don't post negative stuff. What's the point? Once you post something negative, you're the negative guy. You have to be negative, and I have to point out everyone's wrong. I'm right. I'm the best. I get the most views. I'm better than anyone. I'm the best at this. Take the title. I agree. You are the best. You're the only person that can mark you the best. You. And that is 100% your ego. Am I the best wholesaler? Am I one of the top ones? I know I am. All right, I got 22 years. Maybe someone's got like longer track records. There are people, and some of them aren't even on the internet. And like, I'm fine with that. I chose to take a path to help out as many people as possible, and in return, I would earn their trust and get their business back. Gee, that's funny. It's the same way I treat people when I buy their houses, and it's shocking that it works across hundreds of thousands of people. All our platforms, I think there's over 700,000 followers. Show me anybody closer in wholesaling than that. And I'm not saying to brag ego. That's just a stat. We have the largest group in the entire world. We have the largest school real estate investing group in the entire world. I can keep going on and on. Are we significant in YouTube yet? Like, it's not for me, it's for you guys. I don't own those numbers, it's you guys. Sometimes I say stuff that sticks really good, sometimes it don't stick so good, and I get it from it. So the last thing is, you gotta understand this. Who wants to learn something new like wholesale? If you wanna learn something new, you're going to have to grasp this concept. You ready? Most of you try to get attracted to the most attractive part of like learning something new. So let's just take wholesaling, because I'm a wholesaling channel. And you try to get the latest, greatest, most awesome thing. And you've got to understand, it is the worst way to learn the business. When someone's got super polished courses, and listen, you can go on here and have all the phone numbers, it's going to be super easy. When you hear it, I want you to take a step back and figure out how you're getting screwed. Because I promise you, it's not going to be that easy. In fact, the sooner you learn to do the hard upfront and the easy follows it, the more prepared you be for life and wholesaling. Wholesaling, you have to do the hard upfront. There is no easy upfront. I'm sorry. I know all these courses tell you just call a few realtors and stuff like that. If you want to waste a bunch of time, then do it that way. If you want to get it done, do the hard work up front. Trace the phone numbers, contact sellers directly that are off market that need to sell. If you do it any other way, you're going to get killed in business. Why? Because I see you guys every day. I tried so-and-so's course. I tried this course. Why are we attacked at the full course? And you're like, well, it's free. I wasn't sure. I took courses and then come back here. I don't care. However you want to learn, we're giving you options so you can get it done. So at the end of the day, if you want to learn something new, you have a choice. You can go find the most complex marketing, the most expensive ads. By the way, I don't run that. I've never ran an ad, never needed to. I get why people run ads, but if you have such a great community, it should attract plenty of people with long term. But that's a whole nother story. You can do paid ads. People always quit paid ads because eventually they don't convert. So if you want to learn something new, you can either do the shiny thing and find the most advanced and find the easiest way to get in, which is usually going to be the most expensive, or you can decide this. You ready? Just focus on the fundamentals of whatever you're learning. Let me ask you, if you wanted to learn basketball, most of you guys go out there and you just want to rain threes down. Why? I'm tired. I'm not in shape. I don't know how to dribble with my left hand. That's me. I can't dribble with my left hand. It looks like a child's dribbling when I do it with my left hand. I can do a crossover. It'll buckle my knees. And then the guy that puts in all the work, and maybe they have no bad year, within 3 months, they will dominate anybody else that plays basketball that doesn't have the training. Why? Because they took the time, they put in the reps, and they learned the fundamentals. You want to just sit there. I just want to rain down threes all day. You're never going to make it. If you want to throw threes and do half courts, understand it's a hobby and it's fun. But the reality is, if you want to learn wholesaling, you have to learn the basics. You have to master marketing. Without marketing, you are not a wholesaler. I'll argue with anyone on it. You're just a person that buys houses. That's it. You'll probably wind up being a fix and flipper. Why? Because you don't know how to derive your own leads, and you don't understand that if you leave it in other people's hands, it's eventually going to blow up on you. It's going to be taken away or be priced out. That's why you need to learn. Oh, is it sexy putting out bandit signs? Is it sexy cold calling? Is it sexy texting people? No. But it works. You're in control of your leads. So if you're trying to just get your first deal, you have to drive the ship. Master marketing. Anybody who says otherwise, I don't know how long they're going to last in the business, because my ability to communicate to you everything right here, right now, is from my fundamentals of wholesale. He or she that can demand attention, not demand, I mean, get people to pay attention to them, that is really good at their craft, will dominate in no matter what business they do. Now, find someone who's just good at selling. You're going to have to sell the rest of your life, because you will never understand marketing to get enough attention to make it happen. And that is the difference, guys. Do not skip marketing. It is probably the highest paid skill set you will learn in your entire life. And by skipping it, it is a shortcut. And I'm not saying you can't get deals from paid services. You can. But eventually you will run into frustrations. You will be cut off and you will be priced out. And then you're going to like, how do I market now? And if you haven't learned the basic tools we taught you, government list, driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars, how are you going to evaluate them? And that's the problem with it. Marketing is an absolute essential function of wholesaling. Without it, I've never found anyone who's ever lasted. Period. End of story. Now, once you get deals and get under it, the idea is to switch over to scaling. I'm the first to admit it. But so many of you guys are buying people's systems that teach you how to scale from day one. It's never going to work. Think about this. If I was going to teach someone how to bike and you don't know how to ride a bike yourself, or if you're going to teach someone how to swim and you don't know how to swim yourself, how are you going to get your point across? With a video? Like, what are you going to do? And that's the problem with a lot of people in wholesaling is if you don't really understand it, you don't master it. How can I tell you to go out and market if I just outsource all my marketing? I outsource a certain part of my marketing, but like it's a very, very small, because it's tough to keep it going. Meaning the cost of it and it would exceed the benefit. This is what we find a lot with pay-per-click. Pay-per-click, guys, it's an expensive venture. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It works better in other industries. It's very tough. And what happens is we get these marketers. Do you hear me? Marketers get on those people. And honestly, they have such a high skill set, they can charge whatever they want. And then you sit here, and I don't know about you, but like wholesaling to me is like, for instance, today I had an electrician come and do some work in the office. He wound up being here like 3 or 4 hours, way longer than I thought. And like I kept giving him stuff to do. And honestly, I didn't ask the price. Honestly, I didn't really care. But like I got the bill, and you know what I did? I go, crap, I just paid market price. Now, if I buy leads, I have to pay market price because I have zero leverage. I have no skin in the game. If you want to buy this, or this guy's going to do this. Now, can I sit there and ask for a cheaper price? You can, but like you're only going to get so far. So I asked for a discount. He knocked $200 off the bill just by me asking. This is the root fundamentals of how we market. I don't pay market price for anything unless it serves my business and does a higher good. But the problem is if you only pay market price will eventually drown you in wholesaling. Why? We buy properties significantly below. If I got to pay you on average, if a lead is $400 or $500, and I got to get 10 to 15 leads, $5,000 to $8,000, and your average margin is only 10, maybe 12, it's going to be brutal. And don't even start, if you started out wholesaling doing that method, you have no room at all, and it's problematic. So focus on the fundamentals. If I was going to learn football, I need to learn to punt, block, pass, tackle, catch. I don't know, we're going to run the wishbone right off the bat. We're going to do the Statue of Liberty. We're going to do the phone. I don't even understand how the play works. So we can't do that. A lot of you guys are doing that in wholesaling, doing very advanced strategies. And people that are telling you, You can't assign anymore. It's risky. You can't do this. You just rules and understand what you're doing. Why should you have it any different than I had it? Yeah, you got to pay attention. Stuff changes over time. I'm telling you, wholesaling's never been better than it is in 2025. In fact, this is one of the greatest opportunities in 2025 to wholesale. I believe it in my heart. Plus, I do the business. I do deals all over the country. Guys, there's so many opportunities. You just got to go out and find them. The opportunities are going to be there. The question is, are you going to get in the way and take some of it for you? If you're not, then I'll grab as many as people on the time that will grab it all to take it all in. So my audio is in and out. I thought my audio. Okay, let me check here. 1, 2, 3. Well, I'll just. Hopefully that's a little better. Looks like it's responding. Should I get carried? It's a little cool here today. It's supposed to get like really cold, but I'm in Florida, so let me know if I get any problems with the volume. So, guys, I always tell you this: the marathon versus sprinter mentality. Remember, a sprinter wants to look good for a very short time. They look real sexy, kind of Heisman pose. They're sprinting, they look good, and then sometimes you guys have to. You have a tendency you want to keep pace with the sprinter. It's the worst decision you make. You don't know what the sprinter's good for. You don't know what kind of training they are, and you try to keep up. Somebody shows you, hey, I just did 4 deals, and I don't understand why you can't do a deal. That's a sprinter. You have no idea if they're legit, and then you try to change your race to match them. Find out they're only going to quit the business in 4 to 6 months. A marathon trains their own race. They learn the fundamentals, and they focus on getting better each day. In fact, just 1% better each day. Life is all about the decisions you make each day that accumulate over time, and those decisions are the outcome of your life. Make changes, get consistent with it, and do it over time. Amazing things will happen in your life. If you don't do that, it's going to be problematic for you. So run your own race. If somebody sprints by you and shows you 4 contracts, high five them, ask them how they got it, and ask them if you could be of service. That's it. Don't change what you're doing because you're on the internet. That's the power of a good marketing message. And I just want you to understand, if it throws you off your race, then you are not helping your own wholesaling career out. So if we understand that, run your own race, and you got to do that. So here's what I want you to do. I'll end it on this, and we'll take some lives here. You notice how you all focus on like, well, what could go wrong in wholesale? And trust me, things can go wrong, especially if you're not trained and you don't know what you're doing. But have you ever had your conversation like, what would go right? Let's go back to 2003 when Ricky decided to do wholesaling because he about had it with 12 years of corporate frustration. I could have sat there, trust me, it was with my wife at the time. I was only married 7, 8 years at that time, 96, 7 years. And trust me, I ran through everything that could go wrong in my mind, just like all you guys do. But the reality is, what if we just switch it up and go like this? I remember this is what I said. What could go right? Oh my God, I can't spell today. Let me fix that. What if we tell ourselves, hey, by doing wholesaling, what if I could change the entire projection of my family? What can go right? But you know what? The human brain automatically tries to find everything that's what the problem is. So what if you just focused on like what would go right? But the human mind is conditioned to find the problem before you're just going to have to fix that thinking. If you do this right here, what can go right if I do wholesaling? And there's plenty of examples. I'm not the only successful wholesaler out there. I mean, the list is long. The amount of people I've trained inside of freewholesaling.com, the Flip with Rick Plus program, some of the X-Leads programs we do, the live we do twice a year, it's endless. And then I think all the people I helped even before I came on the internet, I'm just a person that likes to help people. I believe this industry has been in the dark ages forever. I believe it's still in the dark ages, and I believe that people just want to keep doing the same old thing. So this is why me and Zach have brought a fresh new change to wholesaling. Number one, you're in a day of age when technology gives you basically anything you want. If people want to just keep making paywalls, whatever, you guys have choices. You want your time and your money. Number two, the more people I can help, the more trust I can create by doing exactly what I say I'm going to do. And the more money I can help people make, they almost feel obligated to come back with. Do you know I get checks mailed to me every month, something I didn't do just out of a thank you? It's ridiculous. And I call these people, I'm like, what is this for? Here's $4,000. I feel obligated. I made 10. I'm going to give you some of it. Sometimes I don't even know what to do with it. Honestly, I've actually created a charity and like I'm going to figure out how to help other people with it because I don't want to earn money like I didn't do. But the reality, I've created thousands of hours of content. I do these lives just like I do with you guys. And honestly, the only thing I ask in return is to spend time with me, watch me, and have you become a better wholesaler. And then if you want to come back and do business with me, that's my favorite way because I believe coaching for dollars on in wholesaling. I only speak for wholesaling. I believe it's just a shortcut for people. And if you really want to make fundamental like changes, help as many people as you humanly possibly can. Don't worry about the money up front, and you will figure it out in the back end. That's what I've done really for the last 5 years. You know what? It's worked. Everybody told me it wouldn't work. I'm here to tell you, not only has it worked, it's worked beyond my wildest like imagination of dreams. And you know what? Rick did not do exactly what every other person does in wholesale. My podcast, dude, it's simple. Like it's like there's I don't spend 100 grand on the studio. Why? It's like a really dumb move, in my opinion. All people care is about what I do and the content I connect between this camera and your viewing experience. That's it. Nothing else matters on it. So guys, that's my way on how you can basically take control of anything you want in your life. Take it up if you do it. Hopefully you guys can hear me okay. I'm just reading some of the comments here, and so William's right with that. Edging out God, that's like a great acronym. You guys understand like your ego. I implore all of you to research what you think ego is. Try and do an internet search. And an ego is basically your perceived perception of who you think you are. That's it. That's all it is. And unfortunately, it's usually wrong. So some of my biggest ego days were 30s. 20s, I was clueless, so I don't really give a lot of credit to it. But in my 30s, I thought I was like God's gift to wholesaling, and I wasn't. I need to do a lot of work on myself. And that's why it took me 7 years. And I'm here to tell you, man, like ego is I don't even know why it's built in our brain. Everybody has one. It's crazy. And you have to work to bury yourself. Now, if you ever have a problem with your ego, all you have to do is check out Marcus with the Stoicism. He'll guide you the way, my friend. And remember, here's the philosophy I operate on. I'd rather be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in a war. And that's how I operate in wholesaling. So people can attack me. All I do is give them hugs and love. Like that's all I can do. Because me engaging in a negative comment or like, how dare you say that about me? I didn't invent wholesaling. The guy before me didn't invent wholesaling, and honestly, wholesaling's been going on for 50 years. So we got to stop trying to take credit for, and why don't we be good stewards of the business? As long as we help people learn how to wholesale, who cares? Honestly, I encourage anyone who'll teach anybody wholesaling. Why? Because I think it's an amazing way to make a living. Period. End of story. There's no way around it. So, okay, I think that's it. I think I fixed my microphone. Let me check here, and I'll jump on and do some lives here.